So a few years ago, I had this diesel truck, and as I'm driving it to work one day, all of a sudden, I just start noticing it's not running right. And I continue to drive it back and forth to work all week, and every day it just seemed to run worse and worse and worse. Well, I park it for the weekend, and I don't drive it, and come Monday morning, I jump in my truck to start it up to go to work, and it is like billowing black smoke out. And the truck is just shaking, and the engine is knocking, and there is major problems going on. And so I jump in the truck and I turn it off, and I don't know what to do. So I get some people to look at it. I take it into a shop, and they're looking at it, and they're like, hey, we're not quite sure. It's going to cost more money for us to figure out what's going on. But what it looks like is perhaps you have a cracked cylinder. It looks like you're probably going to need a new engine block. So I get the truck back to my house, and I have some friends come over and help me look at it. And I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm planning now to sell the truck to get rid of it. I'm gonna have to buy a new truck. And we start doing some more investigating, and what we find out is that the engine compartment and the oil pan are full of diesel fluid. Now, if you don't know diesel trucks, that's not supposed to happen. And what we come to realize is that one of the injector has lost all its rings and it's frozen open, and it's just pouring diesel fluid into the engine compartment and into the oil pan, which was causing the motor to run terribly and which could have destroyed the motor. But fortunately, I found out and I didn't keep driving it, so the motor didn't get destroyed. And at the end, all I had to do was replace an injector, clean out the motor from all the diesel fluid that had been dumped into it, and it ended up running great again. And recently, I was thinking about this kind of experience I had with my truck as I've been watching the news and just watching Christian men or supposed Christian men just falling in life, having catastrophic failures in their life, and it's become public even. The truth is, we are all susceptible to this. And what I realized as I watch these men's life, and even as I watch my own life, that we will allow things into our heart that should not be there. Just like my engine was dumping diesel into the compartments and into the oil pan, which wasn't supposed to be there, which could have caused a catastrophic failure. For these men who didn't check their hearts and didn't have God renew their hearts, it did cause catastrophic failure. And as Christians, we're all susceptible to this. None of us are above this. And it reminds me of the psalm that David writes and what he cries out. He says, God, he says, I want you to please create in me a clean heart, God. Create in me a clean heart and renew a right spirit within me. See, David understood that his heart was full of sin, that he had allowed things into his heart that should not be there. And he was asking God, create in me a clean heart, oh God. He surrendered his heart to God. Now, Jesus even talks about this when he washes the disciples' feet, and Peter's like, no, Jesus, not just my feet, wash all of me. And Jesus says, no, you don't need to be completely washed. You just need your feet washed. And as followers of Jesus, we need to understand that yes, God has given us a new heart, and yes, we have received righteousness and grace and forgiveness in our lives, and yet we still need to cry out the cry of David. We need to pray the prayer of David, create in me a clean heart, O God, and restore a right spirit within me. Too often we allow stuff into our lives that will come out like anger or anxiety or lust or greed or all sorts of things. And if we don't ask God to clean out our hearts consistently, constantly, we're going to have a catastrophic failure in our lives. And so I want to challenge you today. Pray that prayer. Pray that God would restore your heart, that he would create a clean heart within you, and that you can start today off with a right heart with God, cleaned out of all the junk that's not supposed to be in there. I hope you guys have a great day.